Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the Spankatron 5000 show with your host, Kelsey Todd.
Ladies and gentlemen of the world out there in sunny Seattle, this is where we are, Seattle, Washington, named after the Native American chief, actually. And he saved some villagers from a fire, is what I understand, and poured a bunch of rain on them, and that's how he got saved. And so we're here, we're broadcasting live. We have a real special guest with us here today. And I want to take the time to really interview this guy because he's made a major impact in the community, and I'm really honored to have him on. His name is Jeff Goldenfeldt. You might have heard of him. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Kelsey. It's an honor to be on here. I thank you for giving me a platform to spread my message.
Oh, you're welcome. Totally. I like your outfit too. It looks really kind of. It's a little intense.
It's for both visibility in traffic and scare factor when it comes to
brigading people. Are you a bit nervous?
Brigade. Yes, this is a big opportunity. I don't want to screw it up.
No, you're fine.
Brigading criminals, which is.
Can you explain what brigading means for the audience? Because I don't understand what it means.
Sure, it's what you'd expect. It's where criminals form tightly regimented lines, as we saw both in the Civil War and the Napoleonic Wars on the side of Prussia in modern day America. So it's something that I, on the Community Watch, have experienced, and that's why I wear this.
Did you say in modern day Prussia?
If I did, I misspoke. It was 1890, which, if anyone knows Prussia, that's pretty much modern.
Prussia was really bad in 1890.
Yeah, and they still are.
Fight
the good
fight,
boys.
Was Prussia part of Russia, or was Russia once Prussia? Because if you think about it, say Russia. Now say Prussia. Prussia. What part of that sounds the same? The Russia part.
Right, the Russia part, yeah.
Okay, cool. So, can you go ahead and kind of tell me a little bit about what you do? I'm kind of really curious, actually.
Yeah,
Jeff.
So I run the all-volunteer Communities Watch for my neighborhood. We maintain the sanctity, the holiness, as well as the virility of about 6 square blocks.
Now, you say I understand the first couple terms, the sanctity, which means like just the peacefulness of them and whatnot. Like you're sanctified, your home is your sanctuary, right?
Yes, of course.
But the virility, now that doesn't really make any sense to me, and maybe you could explain it to me, because the virility means, you being able to produce children. Like virility in men means that they have their sperm is healthy, they're good swimmers, and that they're able to get erections. So we're talking about people in their 20s to mid 30s. Women can also be virile.
Yes.
It means that their eggs are working, they're having their flows, they're going through, not going through menopause. Their eggs are exiting the chamber and going down the fallopian tube.
Yes. So we do a lot of work both in making sure erections are hard and the female anatomy is working as well.
How do you do that? Explain a typical day where you will help someone get hard.
I really think it's them seeing me in action. A lot of people, and I don't really like this, but they've compared me to Batman, and that's also kind of erotic.
They've compared you to Batman?
Yeah, so what I do is, it's pretty intense. I do it of my own accord. I wasn't asked to. In fact, I've been asked multiple times to stop, much like Batman. However, the good fight still continues, and I will do that.
Can I tell you a Bible joke really quick?
Sure.
What kind of car did Jesus' disciples drive?
I don't know.
They all came in one accord.
That's a good one. I'm gonna take that back to the block. I like
Thanks,
that.
Man.
Yeah.
So I mean, you obviously take your job seriously. You keep your neighborhood very safe.
Yeah,
very safe.
Mm-hmm.
The weird thing is that you live in a gated community.
Yes.
And so of all the places on the earth that are probably the safest, those are probably some of the safest.
Because
places.
I'm there largely.
Well, one could argue that the gate itself and the security guard at the front and the fact that a lot of the people, homeowners, are probably gun owners, is something that really dissuades criminals from going in. Like how much? And I'm not trying to insult your profession,
sure,
because I'm sure you make a difference. But I mean, how crucial do you think you are to the safety of the neighborhood? I
don't know. I mean, why did we build a fence on Mexico? Why did we build a border to Canada? You know, a lot of people don't talk about it, but there are structures in place to close the border with Canada if need be. We keep it open in symbolic peace, but
right.
It's definitely something that we could do. So why do we have those fences? It's because of brigades of criminals, and they don't come to my fence.
I finally understand what you were saying. You're saying brigades.
Brigade, yeah.
I thought you were saying burgading.
Yeah.
And I was like, burgading?
I kind of was. I was real nervous. I'm getting a little bit more comfortable.
Well, yeah, you're drinking your tea and you're taking off your slippers and putting on a new pair of slippers.
Yeah, I bring it back up. Those ones, I get real sweaty.
I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
So how did your group form? Like, what was the genesis of your group? I like to say genesis instead of origin. I feel smarter.
Sure. You know? Yeah. No, I mean, that kind of verbiage is intimidating. So I just noticed that I was feeling really unsafe and kind of paranoid in my neighborhood. I put on a few action movies, and I thought I could do that. You know, one of my greatest inspirations was Rambo. He took on the Russians almost single-handedly.
Sure.
I figured if Russia came, I should be prepared as Rambo was. You know, he had a few technological advancements that I've made up through, I've compensated through my own designs. And
what are some of the weapons you've designed, or some of the crime deterrents, or what was the word you decided it was? What was it?
Technological advancements.
No. The word that you were saying earlier
Brigades. Brigades. Yes.
So name a couple. Like, what are a couple weapons you used that you've created on your own?
Sure. So I attached a spaghetti strainer to the end of a high velocity stick. If anyone,
what is a high velocity stick?
It's one that I've designed for aerodynamics.
Okay.
And the function of this is basically to turn any intruder into well, to put it lightly, it's a bowl of spaghetti, because if you've ever come close to a strainer at high velocity,
sure,
you're gonna be a bowl of spaghetti.
Sure. My grandpa was in World War II, and when the Germans ran out of ammunition to fire out of cannons, they just started firing out their cabbage shredders.
Yeah.
And one of his buddies got one in the face. So I totally know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I don't like to talk that my designs were kind of based loosely off that, but
off Nazi weaponry.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to, you know, even when the war ended, my understanding is that the United States imported a lot of like the Nazi doctors to come here and help build our space program and our war program.
Sure. And
so it's totally fair. I mean, no one's going to look down on you for taking technology from a regime that tried to wipe out a whole people.
Right.
I mean, they were effective in some regards. It sounds crass, but it's been almost 100 years.
Yeah.
But, you know, in 20 years, it'll been 100 years.
Yeah, I think the qualm, if I will, came from the pardoning of those doctors.
Sure.
For their crimes. You gotta weigh. You know, they were doing human testing. What's the price society paid, and what's the price that we're gonna agree to pay for it?
Millions of people died, right?
Yeah.
That was horrible, but the good that came from that is that you were able to take some of the technology from that and use it to protect your neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, absolutely, yeah.
I like to look on the bright side of stuff.
And that's the brightest possible way. It's the production of the Redmond Highlands.
What is that?
That's my neighborhood watch.
The Redland Highlands?
Yeah. I'll say it because I'm not afraid to have anyone really threaten it. I have, you know, in addition to the strainer improvised weapons, I've got some other stuff that I've designed with baking powder.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Pretty serious stuff. So, you know.
Now, I got to ask you something. Sure. And I don't mean to pry. You don't have to talk about this if you don't want. It's kind of personal. Mm-hmm. But your wife recently left you.
Yeah. Yeah. This is actually my favorite subject.
Oh, geez. That's... Yeah. Wow, okay. Well, can you tell me about it? Like, Tell me what can you. I mean, you don't have to share it all about it. You said it's your favorite subject, so if you want to talk about it, I'm here for you. Like,
Sure.
the audience wants to know.
Yeah. Well, she. When I married her, she was a weak woman. I tried to build her up as much as possible. She did what she could to try and, withstand the virility that I packed. If the ladies are listening, you can find me on OkCupid.
What's your username?
My name is Watch This Community, and so
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I just it's my favorite subject because I feel like it was one of the better things I did with my life outside of the watch was try to better this otherwise weak and just pathetic individual. And I love her.
About her,
I love her with the bottom of my heart. I should mention she did cheat on me. So.
But now, I'm sorry, dude.
Oh, I'm not. No, she's she made her own choice. I had to be with the watch.
She made her bed. She made her bed and laid in it.
Yeah.
Try saying that 3 times fast.
She made her bed and laid in it. She made her bed and laid in it. She made her bed and laid in it. Pretty easy.
Good job.
Yeah.
Now I got some. I don't like to necessarily bring up like painful stuff, but it does make for good interviews.
Sure.
And I know that I did some research on you. You do have a webpage called My History.
Yes.
And
it's a take on Mein Kampf.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mine History.
Yeah.
Your dad transitioned.
Yes.
And right when he transitioned, he died.
Yes.
Protecting your family.
Mm-hmm.
Washing machine.
Yes. Yeah.
That sounds so fucking weird. Can you explain it to me? Like, what is, number one, what's so important about your family's washing machine? Number two, what was it like to watch your dad go through that change?
Well, I'll start with the washing machine because I think that's pretty easy to explain. It's good hygiene, plain and simple. He knew that if his lineage was to continue, it was going to be on the basis of good hygiene. I don't know if you remember, but germ theory wasn't accepted until late in the 19th century.
That's true, yeah.
He didn't accept it until just a few weeks before he bought that machine, and then he was real into it. So I think that he just had his children in mind when he defended that washing machine. So, that was his rationale for that, and I think it's perfectly rational, and most scientists would agree. But watching him transition, what was that like? Well, we had a tough time with it to begin with, but you got to remember I was about 6, so to have a bunch of different basically parts that were going to be inserted, at different cc caliber implant breasts laying around the house, to me they were just different pillows, and
sure.
And I thought it was just a fun game that Daddy was playing with the makeup, and I supported him wholeheartedly, and I still do. He looked fabulous in the dress defending that washing machine, and I don't mean that as a condescension at all.
Well, that's beautiful, and I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what plans do you have for the future? Do you have? How many people are in your group?
Currently, it's just me. We had
okay.
Yeah, we had trouble recruiting.
You had trouble recruiting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had trouble recruiting.
Have you thought about social media? I've only found your website. I didn't see anything on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or even there's probably some coalition for neighborhood watch groups. And
yeah, I feel like the reception I get is not warm. I don't feel like there's a lot of open minds on Facebook.
What's your elevator pitch? Like when you walk up to someone in the neighborhood that you think would help out, like you see a guy or a woman mowing the lawn, but let's be honest, probably a guy mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
What do you say to them when you approach them?
Sure. So the first thing I do is I don't approach. I startle.
Oh, God. Okay.
So, if I can jump out from behind bushes, if I can get him in some sort of a chokehold, that's it. Because an elevator pitch, that's real business-like. It's real friendly. But a violent encounter is not. And that's what our neighborhood is facing. So I get them hip to the idea that, hey, if I could do it, anyone could. And anyone could do it to anyone in this neighborhood. You should join. I'm refining that technique. It's not been fruitful. But I think that we will see more people join our community watch.
Cool, man. Well, I mean, let's talk a bit more about your weaponry. We talked about the high velocity stick with the spaghetti strainer on it.
Sure.
What are some other weapons you've used or you will use to take down criminals? Because we haven't actually found if you've taken down anyone yet.
Yeah. I don't like to talk about my kills.
Your kills?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
For legal purposes.
But you just admitted on live radio that you have killed people.
Nope, I didn't. I said
True.
I don't like to talk about my kills, and kills is a very versatile word. You know, you could throw a basketball and be like, I killed that shot. So
True.
I don't talk about my kills.
You could be talking about basketball.
Sure, yeah. So, have I taken anyone down? Well, you know, I've protected the neighborhood. That's what I'll say. And there's been not a single murder, theft, rape, domestic violence this week. So
name other things that could happen in your neighborhood.
Sure.
Because some people might not be familiar with those forms of crime. So.
Yeah, I mean, we
do have an audience that's like 4 to 60.
Yeah, well, you know, the most common things you see, there's mail theft, there's destruction of property, there's vandalism, there's graffiti, there's grand theft auto, there is public indecency. Which to date in my neighborhood, I'm the only one charged with that, and I'm fighting that right now
in court. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
it's got to be hard on you because you.
I did have a hard on.
Well, okay.
I'm sorry.
Difficult.
That's not what
I meant.
Okay.
No, I do that joke
I'm
too.
sorry.
I get it. It's funny.
Uh-huh.
It's got to be difficult for you to be this vanguard of hope for your neighborhood when you yourself have a record now.
Well, like I said, I'm still in court. I don't have a record. There's been, you know, that wasn't the first incident with things that have turned out favorable in court. So yeah. But it does make it hard when the newspaper articles don't characterize your actions as heroic.
Have you ever loved anyone?
I have.
Tell me about it.
Well,
you say a blimp?
No, I said I have loved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry, it's hard for me to get this out, but there was once a time, and it was my ex-wife. I did love her. I loved her through and through. I thought that I saw the kernel of hope in her eyes. When I looked at her, I saw what it meant to be a protector, and what gave me the power to fight was that look of just bewilderment in her eyes. And I knew that she was not prepared to deal with the things that I could do. So, you know, that look of fear and bewilderment said I should do something.
Mm-hmm. Well, cool. Well, hey, you know, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a minute, bringing in another guest.
Oh, wonderful.
And so I would love it if you could stick around. Are you able to stick around?
Yeah.
Could I ask you actually could you kind of keep an eye on the place? Because we've had some weird
That's
stuff
my
going
job.
on outside lately, and I'm kind of scared in the neighborhood we're in and everything. So
yeah,
give me a minute, okay? And then we're going to go on a break, and we're going to pause, and we'll be right back.
Sometimes a dog runs the wrong squirrel up the right tree.
Pardon me?
Shirley Kenyon is bringing the common touch to her new job.
WNDY, hello. I know you've been holding, and you should be grateful. Everybody else got cut off.
She's just what Chicago Talk Radio's WNDY needs. They just don't know it yet.
So who did you hire to destroy my ratings now?
Until a simple wrong turn leads to a case of mistaken identity.
This must be a girl.
I just came in for a cup of coffee.
And lands Shirley in the wrong place
10 seconds.
at the right time.
My boss gave me notice, and when I came home and told my husband Ken, he said that I was a loser.
I want you to tell him that you're doing the very best you can, that you can do just fine on your own. Then grab your bowling bag and get the hell out of there.
Now Shirley's got everyone talking.
Who are you? Dr. Kenyon. Who the hell is Dr. Kenyon? You just hired her. I didn't hire her. I hired Dr. Kimball. Kendall. Kenyon. They absolutely love you.
The hottest new personality in Chicago radio is Dr. Shirley!
There's just one problem.
Wait a minute, this says Dr. Shirley here.
Oh, right. The boss wants a doctor, so that's what you are.
It's not true.
Captain Kangaroo wasn't really a captain. He wasn't even a kangaroo.
You are a doctor of the heart.
I want to publicize the hell out of her. Ads, promos, billboards.
I don't want you ever. Don't talk about your past.
at all.
Milo, I'm telling you, there's a story here. One day she's on a bridge willing to risk her neck for $20, and the next day, practically, she's Chicago's answer to Dr. Joyce Brothers. It smells.
You're wasting your time, Jack.
And when a reporter wants the scoop, he'll go right to the heart of the matter.
What kind of doctor are you?
I'm a doctor of the heart. You're really interested in me, aren't you?
I want to know everything about you.
I have a bad track record with men.
Hey, Steve, do we know a Shirley Kenyon?
Yeah, who wants to know?
Now, while he's on the trail of a hot lead, she's riding the ratings to success.
I'm busier than a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest.
When can I get the story?
Oh, so now you think it's a story.
Get down off the cross, honey. Somebody needs the wood.
We'll take it, just the way it is.
Alan, I don't need a place this fancy.
I love when you talk sweet to me.
You haven't even heard sweet yet.
How much have you got on her?
Almost enough. There's something I should tell you.
Will it keep?
Yes.
I discovered Shirley.
Make her sound like penicillin.
Zim Zimmerman's sitting right over there. I want to get you on his show.
This is Joan. She has a marital problem.
I would suggest that you let sleeping dogs lie. And you do not hate your husband for doing this. You hate yourself.
It's her fault her husband's cheating? You know who came up with the expression, let sleeping dogs lie? A dog. And Joan, honey, you are not going to change him. You gotta live with it or end it. Tinkle or get off the potty.
Straight Talk. It's the wonderfully funny comedy starring the popular and appealing Dolly Parton that everyone loves.
The network called this morning. They want to take you national.
Including the critics. Thumbs up, declares Gene Siskel. Irresistible, exclaims the New York Times. Dolly Parton is very winning, claims CBS This Morning. Starring Dolly Parton, James Woods, and Griffin Dunn. Straight Talk. Coming soon to video cassette.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Spankatron 5000 show. Special interview edition today. We were just got done speaking with our guest, and his name was Jeff Goldenfeldt. Very, very powerful neighborhood watch gentleman. He's taken down a lot of people. He actually mentioned he killed a few, just for the record here. Our next guest is Marion, and that is the only name that this person goes by, at least from my understanding. Jeff, feel free to ask some questions
I will.
as the show goes on here. Marion, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me on your show.
You're welcome.
I can introduce myself a little bit.
Please, go right ahead.
I am a master cat burglar.
My God.
I wrote the best-selling book, Who's Burgling Who? And this is really exciting. I was just recently elected vice president of the local 405 Cat Burglar Union.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That's kind of ironic. We have a person here that's sworn to defeat people like you. Is this a conflict of interest for you, Jeff?
I'm sorry, I don't know what cat burgling is.
Well, it's like...
Do you steal from cats?
No, so all right. I get this question a lot because people get confused and there's a lot of stereotypes. So, there's regular burgling, right? It's, I'm going to smash a window and, take your stuff, or I'm going to break into your car. Cat burgling is doing this with style. So, for one example, a cat burglar would never just go smash your window and go through the front. Cat burglar is always going to go through the second story. They're going to climb up your house.
So you avoid one-story homes.
Oh, yeah.
What if the house has a basement? Do you consider the first floor or the second floor?
That's a good question.
A lot of people do. I'm a little bit of a purist. Right. So I prefer to avoid it unless I'm really kind of strapped.
Well, it's weird that you came here dressed in a Puritan outfit.
I want to say one thing. I know for a fact that he has never burgled a house in the Redland Highlands.
Oh, no. I mean, trust me. We all know about you.
Okay.
Word's gotten out. That must make you feel good, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, you're a legend. Can I say how exciting it is to meet you? And
it's likewise an honor.
It's interesting that the two of you idolize one another when you are kind of like, I mean, forgive the pun, like the phrase, but cats and dogs. Like you are kind of enemies of one another because Jeff, I don't necessarily need to spell this out for the audience, but Jeff, it's your sworn duty in the blood vow you took, which you talked about on the break, which we can come back to in a bit. But you took a blood vow to stop theft. I mean, you named like a plethora of you pulled out a law book, and started going like section by section, mentioning the things that you were sworn to protect. Now, not Parker. I have a friend named Parker. Marion, you are the opposite. You took I don't know if you took a blood vow, but you actually burgle houses, but you do it with style.
Cat burgle.
Cat burgle.
And that's the crucial difference.
Okay.
Because
explain the difference for me.
This is the secret about cat burgling that a lot of people don't get. It's not about the money, it's about the challenge. So if we have someone who presents us with a unique challenge, that's great for us. We love that shit. We eat that shit up. I mean, you know, it's once or twice a year a cat burglar tries to burgle the Redland Highlands and gets killed.
I don't think that that has ever been confirmed. I won't deny it, but yeah.
Okay, disappears.
Sure, yeah. I mean,
there have been news reports. I mean, I follow a blog, neighborhood blog, and it says, you know, gentleman disappears in Redland Highlands, and it's happened like six? Is it been 6 times so far?
I mean, there's been a lot of people who get found wearing black turtleneck and necks and all black, and you know, those are cat burglars going after the ultimate challenge.
Sure.
And you know, it's sad when they're unprepared. You know, impetuous youth thinking, "Oh, I'm better than all these other cat burglars."
Marion, you're wearing a Puritan outfit, which is your kind of. I'm assuming it's your way of saying that. I mean, you are wearing those like little tiny black masks that like Robin wears, but you have this Puritan outfit on, which I think looks really cool.
Thank you.
But you don't wear this when you're out burglaring. When you're out doing cat burglary, you're kind of wearing it as a statement.
Oh yeah. As I said, I am a traditionalist. I will wear a black turtleneck, black pants. Maybe a black hat, like a skull cap of some kind.
Is that something that Jewish people wear?
It's so the Jewish people. It's like a tiny little one. I'm talking more like a knit cap.
Okay,
a beanie, if you will.
Yeah, beanie. Like something made of wool that can go over the whole top of your head.
That's not for comfort? That's to keep you a little bit warm, or is that to hide your skin?
It's about warmth. It's about style.
Cool. Okay. So, I mean, what's your biggest score? If you can tell, you can probably leave out details if you need to protect the innocent. But what's your biggest score, and what tips can you give Jeff about what he could look out for?
Well, I don't want to give him too many tips, but
just the tip.
Please.
So, my biggest score. And I've talked about this a lot on a lot of programs because it's a little bit of a legendary thing.
It was pretty easy to get you on because you have been on lots of programs.
Yeah. But I was the one who robbed the Redmond Museum of the Town Jewels of Redmond.
Oh my God, that was you?
Yeah, and that was my biggest ever score. You know, that's the other thing about cat burglars. You graduate to museums pretty quickly because houses, meh.
Do you go through an actual graduation program when this happens? Like,
absolutely. Everyone throws their skull caps up in the air.
What do you have to do to get to the level where you graduate, where you can move on to the bigger scores? Like, is there like a tiered system?
Yeah. So as it starts out, you're in training. So before we ever let you loose on an actual like house to rob, you go through about 4 years. You know, so I'll say usually the best way to get accepted into our program, have an associate's degree. That's
in
important.
anything.
In anything, you know.
Okay.
What
about a associate's degree in criminal justice?
Hey, know thy enemy.
You got that tattooed on your arm.
Yeah.
I'm just not noticing
on
that.
One arm says know thy, and the other one says enemy.
Enemy. Yeah.
Marion, I just want to ask you one thing. You know, I am a huge fan of your work. I appreciate the things you do. Obviously, we're on polar opposites. How does it feel to know you're going to hell?
I don't know. How does it feel to be a fascist?
I don't know. Why don't you ask one?
I thought I just did.
Well, how does it feel to be dumb?
Well, how does it feel to have killed people?
No comment.
I rest my case.
That was pretty intense, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty intense. You were in the process of taking off your shirt, Jeff.
Yeah, I get riled up pretty easily. And when I see human garbage such as Marion, with all due respect, I love the work that he does. I do want to take action.
And when I see a fascist who justifies killing people to stop them from petty theft, I get a little worked up.
Yeah, so if you ever see one, why don't you do something about it?
At least I admit what I do.
Oh. No comment.
Fair enough, fellas.
I'm so sorry, Kelsey.
I really want to apologize too.
No, it's okay to be angry. You know, it's part of the human experience is like, it's okay to not be okay.
That's really nice.
You know, I was in a
Sure.
I was in a relationship years before I got my radio program. I haven't been in one since, but
Because of the radio program?
because of the radio program, it took up all my time.
Wow.
One of these ladies I was dating, it was just such a bad breakup. She broke up with me one night over Chinese food. We were watching a baby together.
Was it your baby?
No, it was a friend's baby. We were at the house.
So this wasn't a baby you like found on the street.
No.
Nor was it just from a window that you were staring at?
No, I was
some other-
literally. I know that would have been funny, but I was literally in a room with this woman, and we were eating Chinese food, and she was Asian. The baby was not Asian. The baby was black. I'm just trying to paint a pretty picture for you guys.
Sure.
And she was like, "Do you want any Chinese food?" And I was like, "No, I'm good." And then 20 minutes later, I'm like, "You know what? I will take some." And so I ate like half of her food. And she just got really annoyed with me. And she was like, "You know what? I can't do this anymore." And it was really hard. And it's funny because that was such a simple breakup, but I spent like a good 2 weeks in this like deep, dark depression. I was calling like the crisis hotline every night and getting help. I was having to take like 3 or 4 Xanax a day at work just to make it through without, being a complete wreck. But, what really brought me out was, drinking. Really helped me to kind of get out of that funk.
I find the more drugs and alcohol I use on Community Watch, the far better policing I do of my community.
Do you really think that? Because I find myself, I was starting to really abuse it, and I found that it made me a real bad person. Like I put on a lot of weight. I was really mean to people. I was mean to myself. And what got me out of that was I was actually at work one day and I was just like reading this blog on tinybuddha.com, and it said, it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
And that really resonated with me because I was like giving myself this guilt trip for being so angry and so jealous and mean and mad about it. But walking away from that with that little sentence, it was like, man, that's so powerful.
That is powerful.
It's part of the human experience, to be angry. Like, you guys are angry at each other.
Yeah.
Right? And,
Yeah.
you have their
Absolutely.
mutual respect because you both are career men.
Yeah.
And you've chosen your careers. Now Park, or fucking A.
Why do you keep calling me
I have
that?
a friend that looks just like you. His name's Parker, but he just came out.
Handsome devil.
He is handsome. But, Marion, I cut you off. Tell us about your biggest score. Like, you're talking about the Redmond family jewels.
Well, first, can I say that I totally relate to the problem you just described. It's a huge issue in the burgling community.
Breakups.
We have what's known as cat widows, women who really marry into.
Wouldn't you call them pussy widows?
That's just inappropriate.
Okay.
Women who marry and I should say women or men, because there are plenty of female cat burglars
or gay cat burglars.
Sure. But anyway, the spouses of cat burglars, it tends to be lonely. It's very difficult on a relationship. Cat burglaring is risky. It takes up a lot of time to plan your score. And so, we have a lot of problems in that area. But anyway, you wanted to know about my Redmond Museum heist.
Yes. Please tell me in full detail what happened that night.
Okay.
And then after this, I think that Jeff, you can break down mistakes he made.
Sure,
in
I was
ways,
actually...
Okay, perfect. I didn't mean to cut you off. That's good. Good to go.
So I had scoped this place for weeks. Like, this was it. This was going to be the thing that I was going to make a name for myself with. So I had a whole team. I had the hacker. I had the guy on the inside. I had the wheelman. I was the second story man. The acrobat. So,
that was your name?
No, that was another guy. That was a different guy.
So there were 5 people on your team?
Yes.
Cool.
And so we waited till the museum closed, and we had our inside guy snip the alarm system.
Was that his name?
Yeah, his name was Snip.
Cool.
It was really kind of appropriate.
Right.
And so I climbed up to the second story and snuck into the east wing.
Did you use a rope, like a Gatling hook, or was it just a ladder, or
I
just the building, like
scaled
parkour?
the side of the building.
Okay. Cool.
I'm not gonna lower myself by needing to use a rope. What kind of self-respecting cat burglar would I be?
Right. Totally.
I didn't know cat burglars had respect for themselves.
Whoa! Shots fired.
Jeff, I'm trying to tell a story here.
Jeff, he was respectful.
I was just
during
heated.
yours.
I apologize.
Okay. So, I get in there, and the laser grid is still active. Oh. So our acrobat, Tiny, he flips his way through the laser grid. He's it's all diagonally flipping in between lasers and all the stuff, and gets to shut off the laser grid. And then it's my turn. I've got to get into the case holding the crown jewels of Renton. You know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said Redmond Family Jewels earlier. I'm a bad host.
I think I said Redmond earlier.
They're close.
Yeah,
they're close enough. Renton.
I've done both, but the Renton
this one was a bigger score.
Yeah. The other one was barely anything.
Well, the other one, people died on that one. You probably don't want to talk about it.
And also, it turned out that it was just cubic zirconium.
Right.
But anyway, biggest jewels you've ever seen: diamonds, emeralds. All kinds of shit. It's amazing. If you've never seen them.
Was it just like a bucket of loose jewels?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
And the bucket had a lot of historical significance. It was a solid gold bucket.
Was that the one that John Smith brought over when he started the Mormon Church?
And he brought it over and founded the city of Redmond.
Interesting. Okay. Are you a Mormon?
I am not, but I was raised Mormon.
Interesting. Okay. We can talk about that next time we have you on, about why you left the church.
Yeah.
Or why the church left you, as it could have happened.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, that really says it all. But
so, I mean, okay, back to the diamonds.
Okay.
At this point, like the alarm, you don't have to worry about the alarm because Spick. No, not his. That's not.
Oh,
my God.
Come on.
Easy.
What's his name? Snip.
Snip. Because remember, that's what he did.
He snipped the alarm.
He didn't spick.
I'm so sorry.
He was Hispanic, so that makes it extra offensive.
I didn't even know that. I had a Hispanic girlfriend, so I'm not racist.
Oh, you had a Hispanic friend, so you can't be racist.
Girlfriend. I had sex with this person that was of another race.
You can still be a racist.
I don't know about that.
Okay, I'm going to get us off this topic.
Okay.
Anyway, so I used my glass cutter, cut a hole in the case.
The case was made of glass?
There was a glass
lasers.
case around the gold bucket of jewels.
Was this in a vault, or was it just sitting past the lasers in a glass case?
It was past the lasers. It was still in this like exhibit space, you know?
So there was, in an exhibit space, past the lasers, there's a glass case holding millions and millions of dollars worth of jewels. It's not even in a vault at night. They don't put it in a vault at night?
No, they don't. I mean, this is why I targeted this place.
It's kind of stupid. It's like they're begging
Redmond
for
is
it.
very arrogant.
You know what I like to say? I like to say a lot of times that person was asking for it.
Right? You say that a lot?
I do. And I think that museum was asking for it.
Yeah, the museum was really being provocative.
Totally.
Anyway, so I cut the glass. I have a bucket of similar weight because there's a pressure sensor.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to
kind of like Indiana Jones.
Exactly like Indiana Jones. And so I weigh them out exactly. I have the bag of sand. I put the bucket on there, and just like Indiana Jones, it doesn't work.
Oh, jeez.
So the alarms start going off. And
so Snip didn't do his job.
Well, this is a separate alarm system. We knew we couldn't disable this one.
Okay.
That was my job, to do the pressure thing correctly.
Right, and this is when the getaway driver comes in. But you called him something else earlier. I forgot what it was.
The
wheels.
Wheels,
yeah.
yes.
The wheelman, yeah.
Wheelman.
And he was in a wheelchair. He
which
drove one of those
was
disabled vans.
Disabled vans, right. Yeah.
So I mean, that was a real advantage as a wheelman because he could park in the disabled parking spots.
Disabled parking is right up front by the door.
Do you pick your people based on handicaps or
I like a diverse team,
names?
unlike you fascist.
He doesn't have anyone on his team. It's himself.
Yeah,
he can't...
we've tried to recruit any of the gays, any of the minority groups.
When you say, I'm not trying to parse words. Is parsing words a thing?
Are you going to judge him based on his language?
I'm just saying when you say the gays, it's like something what someone would say in like the 80s or the 60s, like the blacks are here. Or like back then they would say something else.
That was insensitive. It was.
You didn't mean to, though.
I didn't. And I think that's probably why I don't recruit as effectively as I could be. I've worked on that, but I don't want to take away from Marion's
Can we get
story.
back to my thrilling escape?
Please, yeah. Sorry.
So the handicap man is driving. Get back to it.
So are the alarms going off, or are they silent alarms?
The alarms are going off. They're flashing everywhere. You know, the metal is starting to come down over the windows. The police are coming, and I know I have one chance. So I run and I dive through the window.
Oh my gosh! Plate glass?
Yeah.
Or was that a screen door?
Well, it was the window that I'd opened earlier.
Oh, okay. So you didn't hurt yourself. You just dove through the window that was open.
Well,
okay.
It was still a second-story window.
Oh, okay.
So,
but this. It's funny that this, for people to know that don't know, the Renton Museum was actually surrounded by a cotton field.
Oh yeah.
Right.
It's part of the shameful history of Redmond.
Redmond, right.
Is it Renton or Renton? Because I feel like it goes.
It goes. Renton and Redmond used to be the same town.
Yeah.
That gets confusing.
So
people don't know that. So there's actually been a big fight over who gets the family
rights.
jewels.
Sure. So do you still now? So you jumped out the window. You got in the van. Wheels took off. Did you leave behind?
The cops are right behind us.
What happened to Snip and the other guys?
Well, they were left behind.
So you left your co-burglars behind?
Well, there was nothing I could do.
I don't think that.
I
don't think that any that. I mean, honestly, I'm looking at Jeff and I know him, but I don't think he would ever leave any of his people behind.
Never.
And I'm kind of judging you for that.
Well, I mean, Snip
Marion.
was okay because they didn't know that he was involved. He was still the inside man. So.
That's because he was dressed as a janitor.
Exactly.
Right.
And he was the janitor.
Oh, the inside man was also the alarm guy. He was Snip. Okay,
right.
I understand. So the other guys, did they get away or are they locked up?
No, unfortunately, Tiny is serving a 15-year prison sentence.
Now, if you get caught burglaring, like you get a plaque on the wall, like a star on the wall, like the CIA.
And we save a seat for you at the burglar table.
That's interesting. Well, okay.
Tiny, when you get out, you're getting a double share, man.
You want to do a poem for him? Do Tiny's eulogy right now for his crime thing.
He's not dead.
I know, but do a crime eulogy.
Okay.
A crime-logy.
Oh, Tiny, you are so brave. You went into the cave of the museum. You saved us all with your sacrifice. I'm so sorry about what happened that night. But when you get out of that hellish prison, you'll be able to get your rich on. Thanks, Tiny. Thanks, Tiny.
All right, well, keep it together there, buddy. Now, before we go to our break, and I actually have to head off, I have to get some groceries and go home for a minute here.
And I'll say, it turned out we didn't need our hacker.
You didn't need your hacker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have to pay him because you might have needed him, but...
Right, and you paid him in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Jeff, real quick synopsis of his crime. What do you think that you could have done to prevent it? Bullet point, just break it down for me quickly. What would you have changed about that? How would you have captured them had you been around?
Sure. The saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So what we typically do in these situations, cat burglars are real chatty. So we pick up on them.
We sure are.
Yeah. So, when he's recruiting Tiny, when he's recruiting Wheels, Snip, it's really easy to infiltrate. All you basically do is put your name with some sort of double entendre on the board, and you're gonna get picked up.
I do usually recruit with those
That's true.
posters with like a little phone number you can rip off.
Right.
I mean, that's the primary way cat burglar is recruit.
Right. So in that, I would have got it from the get-go and cut an ounce of flesh off them.
Let me ask you this, fascist. What would your name have been that would have made you put me on your crew?
Oh, McGillicuddy.
It's not nearly ironic enough. I'd never trust a McGillicuddy.
Maybe something like Fuse or Bomby or something.
Yeah,
or
or
I don't know. That's Steely's good.
I like
Steely.
Steely.
You guys got this down.
I've been in the game for a long time.
I work in the community watch. I'm not just some fancy man dressed in a all black outfit. Which, by the way, I mean, is that real fancy? It's not.
Well, let's be honest. He's wearing his Puritan outfit right now.
Yeah, but
it's pretty fancy.
It's like a pilgrim.
I got a buckle on my hat.
But he didn't even think of that. I mean, it's just. Anyways.
I mean, haven't you ever heard the saying, to catch a thief, it takes a thief?
Have you ever heard the saying, there's no honor amongst thieves? That's why you left Tiny behind?
That is an offensive saying.
Well, it's the truth. I think you lack honor. I think you lack courage. And most of all, I think you lack style.
Well, have you ever heard the phrase, he who gazes too long into the void gazes back at him?
I have.
Have you guys ever heard the phrase 31 flavors and then some?
I'm not familiar with that one. Tell us about it.
Isn't that the Baskin Robbins thing?
Yeah. Are we going to go to Baskin Robbins?
We can. I actually have to head out for a bit.
Can you go get us Baskin Robbins?
I can get some on the way back. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna go to a break. Would you guys mind? And it's a special situation. Would you guys mind holding down the fort for a bit?
Sure. I can watch over your house.
Yeah.
I've got locks on everything, and Jeff made sure my house was secure before the interview even started.
Yeah. Try it. Yeah. I'm glad to have you right here. Yeah.
Your locks are going to stop me? This guy's going to stop me?
I'd love to see you try it. I don't know if you see what's next to me.
You won't even see me try it. You just
Boys.
look up and his stuff will be gone.
Boys.
I'll kill him.
All right, look, I'm going to go. I'll be back in a bit. Hold down the fort. I got a third guest coming in. I want you guys to interview him, treat him well. All right?
So you're gonna go
He came all the way up from L.A.
I'll be civil if you can be civil.
All right.
I can't make any promises. You're a sack of human filth.
And you're a fascist.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, go into commercial. Commercial break.
All right.
Same make.
These were taken at the West Highland Police Station, 1984. You were there.
Same model.
These were taken today.
You have to let me see my son. He's in great danger.
New mission. Once, he was programmed to destroy the future.
You don't know what it's like to try to kill one of these things.
Now, his mission...
Get down.
...is to protect it.
Come with me if you want to live.
You're really real.
His loyalty is to a child.
Who sent you?
You did. 35 years from now.
And his enemy...
He's a Terminator like you, right?
Not like me.
...is the deadliest machine ever built.
Can it be destroyed?
Unknown.
This time, there are two. Terminator 2.
You just can't go around killing people.
Why?
If you thought you had seen it all, look again.
Stay down!
Go! Now!
We gotta stick together!
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Terminator 2, Judgment Day. This time, he's back. For good.
Trust me.
Hi. Are you Chafe?
Hey, it's me, Chafe.
Oh,
hey.
Hey.
Chafe, we're holding down the fort. Kelsey had to run to the store. He's also going to Baskin Robbins.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, what first question, what flavor do you want?
You know, first of all, can I say something else, you guys? What's your name, sir?
Jeff Goldenfeldt.
Jeff Goldenfeldt. Love your style.
Thank you.
I absolutely love it. I love your skin. You can tell you take good care of your skin. You exfoliate very well.
Thank you.
Do you drink a lot of milk?
Let's
see a little inflammation on your eyebrows there.
I
might want to. It doesn't really, the camera adds 10 pounds, right? And I think that the camera could add a lot more redness in that area. So maybe we can get a makeup person to come in and check you out.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not sure that. Are we bringing in cameras?
I've got a crew in the van. They're just kind of waiting to come in here. I can have them come in at any time. If
Chafe,
you
what do you do?
Tell us about you.
Sorry, my name's Chafe Leonard. I am a reality TV producer from L.A. You might have seen my work, The Snake. It's about a woman.
I love that show.
It's about a woman who transitions into a snake.
Wow.
And then I've also done the shows called a White House Gangbang, which is not what you think. It's about a bunch of prisoners who actually run the White House for 2 weeks, and they get voted off the show. So that's a couple of my claims to fame. I also took part in the Kardashians, which is a reality TV show about the Kardashians from Star Trek and their raised to fame and how they made money in galactic outer space. So yeah,
those are all some of my favorite shows. I took a lot from the Kardashians. How did you blend that philosophy and make it understandable to us mere humans?
Well, I mean, hey, Jeff, I'm a mere human, right?
You don't seem like it.
What else do I need to say?
You don't seem like it. I got to say, I'm charmed. You've charmed the pants off me.
Can I ask you a question about the Kardashians?
You actually... Hold on a second.
Sorry.
Jeff, you're actually taking your pants off right now.
Yes, I'm that charmed.
I really want to get the camera crew in here because I could see a possibility with the show. I could see something great coming from this, but I don't have to. You got to sign.
Can I say I underestimated you? I figured all your aggression was kind of overcompensating. My bad. I was wrong.
This is great drama.
Thanks.
This is great drama. Marion, I haven't met you yet.
Oh, yes. My name is Marion LaFontaine. They call me the Fountain.
Now, why do they call you the Fountain?
Because my last name is LaFontaine.
Oh, okay. Is that... I always thought that meant like banana or something.
Nope, it means the fountain.
Okay.
What about Steve Prefontaine, the runner? Is that before Fountain?
Yeah.
I see what you did there. Hey, Jeff, I like your humor. You add a lot of value to humor. If I cast you on the show, you would be the humor guy.
Ooh, which guy would I be?
I don't know yet, but I see something in you. But I see you as either the womanizer or the genius.
Ooh, I like the sound of that one.
Yeah.
But can I ask
what was your question for me?
I had a question about the Kardashians.
Yeah.
Obviously, post the normal show, Gowron has been in the news a lot lately with his transition.
Correct.
Into Gowrina.
Correct.
And I just wonder how you feel about that. How your relationship when you were doing the show with Gowrina.
Well, Gowron and I were in a relationship when we first started the show. It's not...
His preferred pronoun now is she.
Correct. Well, he's given me permission to call him by he, because that's when I first met him. But you're right. I need to say she. Gowron and I first met on when I was doing the show up in outer space. This is back when NASA had the funding, had the government funding. Now they're private funded, so Elon Musk is not interested in doing the show with me anymore. I gave him a hand job. But I was up in outer space, and the Kardashians were up there, and I was like, "Hey, Gowron, I like your style. Do you want to be on the show?" And they got the weird ridges on their forehead. They got like little tiny weird like chevrons go on their forehead there. But what you guys don't know was they actually don't have any private parts.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But they do have buttholes. So I was able to.
Is that not private? Should I pull out my butthole? You said they don't have any
butthole.
Well, it was more of an exploratory question.
Well, okay.
They don't have private parts.
I'm going to tell you the whole thing. Gowron and I, we became fast lovers. We would finger each other's buttholes. We would find other objects on the space shuttle, and we would just like shove them in each other's buttholes because Gowron was working for NASA. He was working as the Kardashian ambassador. I remember saying that 5 times fast.
It was huge drama when Khloe Kardashian when her favorite doll was used to finger Gowron's asshole. That I remember that was one of the highest rated episodes of all time of TV.
It's true, and I got an Emmy for that. But Khloe Kardashian was very upset. She threw a fit. She went out and started her own colony somewhere else, and we haven't heard from her since then. I've been reaching out to her. I hope that she comes back and will be a part of the family again, because Gowron and now Gowrina and I, everything is pretty much the same, except now she has longer hair and goes by Gowrina. But that was a big deal. I mean, you guys remember those episodes? I mean, that show was insane.
Yeah,
I made millions off that show.
I'd like to talk about the White House gangbang if you have a minute.
I have all the time in the world right now.
Right. We're still waiting for Kelsey.
But I do have my van outside. I'd be happy to record this and maybe, I mean, you guys both, you got a chemistry going here.
I can't be pictured with Marion. He's a vile and disgusting human being.
Perfect.
Where we come from. I have what's called standards, morals, beliefs. I respect humanity, and he otherwise is
you respect humanity,
sucking from the turd pipe of life.
You would be a great member of a show. You'd be the perfect cast member. You'd be the bitchy one who didn't mince any words.
I get called Batman quite a bit.
See,
I was once referenced to as Superman. There might have been some qualifiers into just why I was super, but I don't want to get too far into that. They did call me Super Stupid Man. Anyway, with White House gangbang.
Yes.
It sounds like you sleep with pretty much everyone, or at least someone on every show.
Well, I mean,
you gave Elon Musk a hand job. You slept with Gowrina. Who did you sleep with on White House gangbang?
I mean, the rumor is that you gave President Obama a blowjob. That's what people say.
I did. I gave President Obama a blowjob in the Oval Office.
Now it's the Oral Office.
Well, it's been the Oral Office since the 90s, am I right?
Right, yeah.
So, Prisoner Gangbang was an experiment.
It's White House Gangbang.
White House Gangbang. It was originally called Prisoner Gangbang. I'm sorry.
All right.
White House gangbang was just a social experiment to see if we could get a bunch of people in a building and have them run the government without fucking each other. And so for 2 weeks, we had, Secretary of State. We had a president. We had a vice president. We had whatever other cabinet members there are that do stuff there.
Yeah, I mean, Ice Pick was one of the finest Secretary of States we've ever
Ice Pick
had.
was amazing.
He was great. He was a breakout star.
Ice Pick actually was a white supremacist from Alabama who would stab his victims with frozen icicles he saved from the year before, from like the previous winter.
Wow.
He didn't use an ice pick?
No, but Icicle Joe didn't sound nearly as intimidating.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he was just Secretary of Transportation, Icicle Joe.
Yeah.
So your whole thing was worrying about them fucking each other. It wasn't that they would murder?
Not really. We had guards, we had cameras. Here's how we got it. Here's how we got it to work. Mm-hmm. These violent criminals, these death row violent criminals who've like raped and murdered and killed countless people.
Oh, sounds like Marion.
Depraved individuals.
Oh, I never killed anyone.
Oh, but he's raped.
The only one at the table.
You heard it. You heard it.
Only one of us at this table has killed people.
It did say you have. You didn't say you hadn't raped.
I have not raped.
Okay.
I want to go on the record
move on.
and say...
He gets my blood boiling. So what was the big thing?
We put all these... I was really good friends with the warden. We went to high school together. And what he would do is he would put all these criminals and he'd put them in solitary and he'd give them methamphetamines and he would give them Adderall and he would give them Playboy magazines and he would give them Playgirl magazines. They had digital...
That's very progressive.
Right? They had digital projectors in their solitary rooms that would just play nothing but violent porn. And so that they were in there for 6 months. And they were fed a steady diet of Spanish fly and oranges. All right, so you can imagine the state these people came out in. The minute they popped out, we punched them in the fucking face, and we had them sign an affidavit, which is a contract that you use in reality TV. So we had them sign this thing and say, you want to be on a show? You want quick release? Be on the show. You're going to run the fucking country for 2 goddamn weeks. And no one said no.
Can we talk about the controversial finale?
Please. Tell me what happened.
President Scarface, he signed pardons for every single one of them and everyone in every prison.
Well, that was part of the deal of the show, is that if you were on the show and you made it through the 2 weeks and fucked at least once, that you were pardoned. But you're right, President Scarface did pardon every criminal in the country, which was...
He just took one of those pardon forms and wrote all on it.
Correct. Which was unexpected. I'm not going to lie, it was a bit unexpected. But...
So you guys did not plan for that?
No, but think about all the minority communities who have their dads back. I'm just saying, it's a known fact that prison's overpopulated with minorities, right?
Yeah.
That's a known fact. So now these families are back together.
You've done a lot of good for the community, and something that I can definitely agree with in terms of that impact. I want to know about Little Chafe. You seem like an intense human being, like you've seen both the light and dark side of humanity. What were you like at 6, 7 years old? What happened to form you into the human you are now?
Well, I've never told this story to anybody, but I might as well get it out now.
This is a safe space.
It is.
Thank you. I was raised by wolves.
Oh my God.
In the Pennsylvania mountain back, which is what I call the outback, where the mountains are. My dad was an oil baron. And as you can see, I was born without ears, which in that family, there are paintings in my old house with all the old oil barons of the family, going way back.
And did all of them have ears?
Every one of them. And they said, ears for fears, which was their way of saying, if you've got ears, you go in the direction of your own fear. If you don't have ears, you don't go in the direction of your own fear. Mm-hmm. I was born without ears. And so literally...
It seems like a very prescient saying.
Prescient saying?
I mean, like, it was like they really predicted that there would be a son with no ears.
It could be.
They had to have expected it. I mean, kids.
Well, I mean, now the doctors, I've gone in for tests and they've said it's fecal alcohol syndrome.
Oh my! Could you explain a little bit more about that?
Sure.
I understand this is a hard topic for you, and we're getting real deep, but take it at your own pace.
Well, when I was born, it was a very violent birth. It was my parents were out having a picnic, and my mom had eaten some bad tuna, and she really had, really bad diarrhea, right? Mm-hmm. And my dad, being a man, didn't want to have anything to do with the birth process, so he just carried her, set her behind an oak tree, and she was screaming. And I guess when I came out, she also shit tons of diarrhea, and I tried to crawl back in her, but I tried to crawl in the wrong hole. You understand? Mm-hmm. And we are born very strong. The men in my family are born with very strong arms and very strong hands. So I actually ripped my mom's butthole apart when I was trying to get back in there.
Where does the alcohol come into this?
I swallowed and inhaled a ton of feces. Mm-hmm. And my dad, being an alcoholic, the only thing he knew how to do was just to flush the system with alcohol. So I was freshly born. I was 9 months and 1 day old. But I was covered in shit. I had shit in my throat, in my nose, in my eyes, in my ears.
You were more shit than man.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far, but I understand the sentiment. And so my dad just started pouring this moonshine all over me. And unfortunately, the moonshine had gone bad. And so not only did I have shit in my system, I also had moonshine in my system, hence fecal alcohol syndrome.
That's awful.
And you lost your ears because of that bad moonshine.
Right. I actually had little nubbies there, but the minute the alcohol and shit got on there, it burned out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then they just left you in that park?
Left me in the park. It was in the National Mountain Range.
Now, did your mother survive having her butthole rent apart by a baby? I know this is... I'm sorry, that might have been an insensitive question, but I feel like we're really getting to something here. Take all the time you need. I know this is really hard.
She did not. The wounds I gave her were fatal wounds.
Do you think your father blamed you for tearing apart your mother's asshole and killing her?
I'm sure he did. But I'm sure he also blamed himself for not being... He literally picked her up when she was screaming, giving birth, and put her behind an oak tree and just turned around.
Yeah, it's clearly his fault. I'm just saying. I could see how a lesser man would shift that blame onto a baby.
And I think he did, because I was raised by wolves till I was at least 11 years old.
So, how did you come to find out that you were the oil baron's son being raised by wolves?
I mean, how did you find out you weren't a wolf?
Well, I mean, the main difference between a man and a wolf is no fur, right? Mm-hmm. That's the main difference between mankind and wolves.
Right. If you shave a wolf, no one's going to know.
No one's going to know the difference. Yeah. Well, I mean, I was out one day. I was running with my pack. My pack, the leader of the pack, his name was Scott. Mm-hmm. He was a good man wolf. He taught me everything I know. He taught me how to take down hawks, which was really hard for wolves to do. So I would lay there as an infant. I was probably 2 at this time. I'd lay there like a little helpless infant, and I would hear the hawks coming in. Mm-hmm. And
how did you hear them?
They would go.
I mean, you don't have ears.
I have ear holes.
Okay.
So it actually helps me hear better.
Oh.
Kind of like a snake has little holes they can hear really well.
Sure.
You just look like a freak.
That's not nice.
That's very cruel.
Is it?
You're a cruel person.
You know what? It doesn't bug me. I've come to accept it. So
I'm sorry. I didn't.
Sticks and stones may hurt your bones, but words will never hurt you.
I think your ear stubs are beautiful.
Thanks.
I didn't mean that.
Yeah, sure
honestly,
you didn't.
I didn't know that could be construed in any way except for polite, and that's my bad.
You need social things to happen to you.
This is why you can't recruit anyone.
That's my.
Yeah, this is I mean.
That's why all of your people end up in prison. Yeah, and not a single one of mine have. Yeah.
Well.
In a just world, you would be in prison.
No.
I want to finish the story.
World, I'm not.
I want to finish the story.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, here I am. I'm like 12 at this time. I don't speak any English. I speak wolf. You know, Scott's died. I'm about to become the alpha of the pack. Guys, I'm having sex with female wolves at this point because I think I'm a wolf.
Sure. I mean, who
but
hasn't?
I'm not able to get them pregnant. None of them are, and so the other pack members, the beta wolves, are trying to push me out because I'm not producing any children. So one night they're like, let's go on the Great Raid, which means we're going to go and get a human. We're going to kill at a picnic, right? And so we come up on this barbecue, and there's a family at the park, and they're like, get that one. And it was like this big, tall man, and I was like, all right. And so I come running out. I'm fully naked. I've got long, greasy hair, and I just run up and I just fucking bite him right on his fucking kneecap as hard as I can. And he punches me, knocks me out. I'm laying there on the ground. I'm dazed. I'm smelling my wolf brothers die. I can hear them getting shot and howling, but I can also smell their blood and their shit. And then I can smell that the mom is ovulating. I can smell her vagina from where I'm laying. And my sense of smell is so amazing at this point.
So at this point, you have, in fact, learned to tell the difference between a vagina and an asshole.
I have.
Because clearly this is a thing you had trouble with before.
When I was a baby, I definitely did. But the next thing I know, I wake up in a hospital. I'm handcuffed to a thing, and I got a bunch of psychiatrists and psychologists sitting around me. So I was one of the first feral children.
Do you still speak wolf?
I've lost a lot of it.
I mean, can you give us a little wolf
I would,
saying?
but I can't. It's kind of really sacred to me.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah. But
I didn't mean to interrupt your story.
That was
curious.
It. You know, that's the. And I haven't seen the pack since then. I'm sure that they're dead. You know, it's been 25 years.
Well, and how did you get into reality TV?
You know, I've been living a lie. I've been pretending to be someone else that I'm not. I mean, I am a reality TV producer, but I took on someone's name and identity.
Oh my God.
I took on the name Chafe Leonard to get away from my past.
What's your real name?
Not Chafe?
No.
So you didn't produce Kardashians?
I did do all that.
Oh.
But I'm saying is I took that name. It's a dead person. Died in World War II. I took their name and their social security number.
What was your real name? Was it in Wolf?
No.
Who gave it to you?
James Rockefeller.
The James Rockefeller?
My name is Peter Rockefeller.
Oh my God, you're the lost Rockefeller baby.
No.
The Lindbergh baby was actually the previous leader of the pack I was in.
No.
Yes.
I don't believe it.
They spent so many millions of man hours searching for you that your father claimed that you had been kidnapped by communists.
Well, I killed my dad when I found him.
It wasn't the tumor?
No.
My God. At least someone on this podcast has the balls to admit that they've killed.
I killed him wolf style. I snuck up on him and I bit out his neck.
Yeah, well.
And I pissed on him. But, you know, I feel like I gotta head off. I came in here really hyped up. I heard that there was a possibility of turning this into a reality show, this podcast, but it doesn't seem like it's working out.
Well, before you go, can I pitch you my reality show?
Please.
So, it's all about the topsy-turvy world of cat burglars.
Okay.
So we follow a crew all the way through their heist, because, you know, a heist takes months of planning. So, like, a season is like a heist, and we have all these, you know, colorful characters planning this heist and going through the whole thing, and, you know, they have their arguments and their rivalries. I mean, the drama is intense.
Oh, super intense. I like it. What about you?
For the purposes of the criminal investigations, I wouldn't pitch a reality show so much as a commercial. We do need the recruits, so it's a wide angle shot of me on one of my devices that I'd made. It's out of a used bicycle and a lot of Kraft macaroni and cheese boxes painted to look like a tank. That's me driving that. I speed across and I crash into a scarecrow, and I say, "Who's scared now?"
I don't think you understand how reality TV works. If you already if you already know what happened, that's not really reality TV.
This This is a commercial. I don't.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
Yeah.
I like it.
Can I tell you the name? I forgot to mention.
Please tell me the name of your show.
Who Wants to Be a Cat Burglinaire?
Love it. Love it so much.
He's good.
Yours would be Who's Scared Now.
Yeah.
But it would be a commercial. We might be able to option into a show.
Sure.
Yeah, and my book, the movie rights to my book, Who's Burgling Who, is still up there.
Well, as long as you guys promise to let me take part of the profits and give them to fecal alcohol syndrome research, I'd appreciate it.
I can get 100%.
Yeah. Has anyone else ever gotten fecal alcohol syndrome?
Not that I know of.
But we need money to find out.
Correct. Yes.
I mean, obviously, your foundation is working, is what I'm saying.
True.
Prevention is the key.
Prevention is the key.
Mm-hmm.
And be sure to stay tuned this fall for some new reality shows coming up. So thank you guys.
Can you tell us a few of what's on offer this fall?
Yeah, I can. There's a show. It's a takeoff The Amazing Race. It's called The Amazing Race, but it is about a group of people of different races. We find out who's the best.
Put it
and then
once and for all.
We also have one called...
Can I say my money's on Pacific Islander?
Hey,
I haven't seen the show. I don't have any inside information. That's just I'm on Team Pacific Islander.
Then we have one called Who's in the Closet, which is actually just about there's a room filled with 5 closets and you have to guess who's in the closet.
Based on clues. And
then there's another one which is following the builders of Trump's wall. And that one's going to be really good. And so yeah, I mean, as time goes on, that's what we're gonna get those up there and see how they do. So
well, I'll certainly be watching.
Yeah,
cool. All right, well, hey, I got to run. I'm sure that Kelsey wants us to get out of here.
Well, I'm not leaving till I get my ice cream.
Yeah,
right.
He said he's bringing back Baskins.
All right, well, let's cut to commercial, and we'll have okay. Here comes Kelsey. We'll cut to commercial.
This is Princess Adora, sister of He-Man, and her gentle horse. Each sold separately, you can pretend.
She's lovely as a flower, but she has a secret power. The magic sword in one stroke, and she's got the strength of a tower. She's a princess of power.
And now, a She-Ra necklace for you to wear. Wow. Free in specially marked packages while supplies last. She-Ra doll Princess of Power comes with everything you see here. From Mattel.
Hey guys, so how was Rafe?
He was intense, and then he got real somber once we found out he tore his mother's asshole apart and was raised by wolves.
Yeah, I gotta say, you picked the good flavors.
I did. Oh, you like that?
Yeah, the chocolate banana.
It's good
It's
stuff.
my favorite. I don't know how you knew.
Oh, thanks, man. Well, hey, you know what? I like to end every podcast with some freestyle rapping. I know that you guys might not know what that is.
Oh no, I mean we do. This is how we pass the long nights at the Cat Burglar Hall. But I don't know if Mr. Gator Community is used to this kind of something so urban.
Oh, I'm feeling it. Hey, frisky kitty, don't come over here. Don't burgle my gear. I'll step on you. I'll make you a smear. I don't got no fear of that. You're a cat in a hat. Dr. Seuss ain't down with nothing you got on call.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can call me Marion, cause I'm gonna be carrying all your stuff out the door. I steal all your shit. They call me the Fountain, cause no one can get around this. I'm a cat burglar. I'll take your shit. I'll break in your house, and I'll do it with style. You won't even know that I've been there.
Yo. Hey, it's me, Chafe Leonard. I broke back in. Kelsey is gone. He went downstairs to make his favorite flan. That's a Mexican food, don't get me wrong. Reality shows, reality toes, reality hoes, reality blows. I'm gonna change my career. I'm gonna go and be a person who does really good things in the community. Yo, I got fecal alcohol syndrome. That means I climbed into my mother's butt. Yeah.
Climbed into his mother's butt.
Climbing
up in that butt. Climbing up in that butt. Climbing up in that butt.
What? I heard you want to help your community in a major way, and I'm here to say that I can help you do that. If you true dat, who dat? It's Chafe. He's helping his community.
Chafe Leonard helping his community when he goes pee-pee on the TP. Disgracing the Native American people who now don't like him anymore. Chafe Leonard.
Chafe Leonard.
Helping
Ain't
his
down
community.
This is Tiny. I just got pardoned by President Scarface. I'm out of jail, and I'm going to go without fail to go punch Marion in the dick, because he left me to hold in the stick of crime, and they sent me to jail, and that really sucks. Without fail, I got pinched, and it's not a cinch. I'm gonna punch Marion in the dick.
Yo, when I was a little kid, I liked to put on hats. We called them lids. I'd go around the playground kissing all the girls. Sometimes I'd play with the little tiny squirrels, shove them in my ass. Then I'd smoke some grass. Then I'd go in the hall and I'd hand out passes to all the kids who wanted to go in the bathroom and smoke. And then I'd go inside and I'd take a toke. I was a little motherfucker in elementary school. I used to go out and take dumps in the pool. And then I'd go and I'd kill them bitches. And I'd kill them snitches.
Kill snitches.
Kill them bitches.
Kill them bitches and I killed them snitches.
Kill the snitches.
Kill them bitches and I killed them snitches.
Kill the bitches.
Kill them bitches and I killed the snitches.
I just want to say, for the record, Jeffrey ain't no killer. He's on all kilters.
Hey, it's Secretary Icepick, and I'm gonna show you the secret of my trick. How I brought peace to the Middle East and everywhere else all at once. I did it with my dick. I took my dick over and I slapped it down on the table and I said, "Fuck you! Stop fighting, you assholes!" And everyone gathered together in peace.
Gather together in peace.
Gather together in peace. Get down on your knees and suck the dick of peace. Suck the dick of peace. 6 seconds. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Suck a dick.
Suck a dick every day.
All right, plugs. Aaron, my guests today have been Aaron Walden and Parker Thompson. What do you guys have coming up? Anything?
No shows. I am at Aaron Duder on Twitter.
Cool.
And at Heroes Seattle, which is our homeless outreach organization.
Yeah, let me know. I know I've flaked on like the last couple you've invited me to, but I do want to do it.
Yeah.
I haven't been blowing off. I do want to do it.
Yeah, I'll invite you on Facebook.
Even though they're like, hey, come at like 6 a.m. on Saturday.
It's
kind of
it's
hard.
brutal.
So.
It's brutal.
But
Parker, what do you have coming up?
Let's see. So we have some basement shows.
May 5th.
Me and Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
We have May 13th at the Pocket. And there's one in June that I don't remember the date of.
Right.
And what else do I got going on? Oh, this I probably won't be out, but next weekend I will be in Bellingham performing at a 48-hour theater festival. So if you're in Bellingham,
I'll look you up,
and you hear this in the past,
thanks for coming.
Yeah,
awesome. This will be out in a few weeks. I have 3 episodes on queue to get released, so this will probably be out in about a month. But guys, thank you so much for coming. This was really fun.
Thank you for having me.
And next time I do this, I want to figure out how to do that Facebook Live thing.
Yeah.
I've got 2 like 5-second Facebook Live videos from tonight that are just me talking, and it's not making any sense. So, all right, plugs for me. Same thing as Parker. Keep in mind, I talk about this after every episode now. The Dragon Sex Calendar. Keep an eye out for it.
Dragon Sex Calendar
2017. I'm gonna get that Kickstarter going. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Bye.